Galactic Narratives, Messages from Non-Human Intelligences. According to credible high-level sources, multiple non-human intelligences and their technologies have been visiting Earth for a long time. So, did they leave any messages? Some researchers believe they did, and various NHI messages have been published. There are over 20 hypotheses exploring the notion that multiple non-human intelligences, NHIs, have left messages for humanity. This video introduces 9 forms of NHI contact and messaging. A description of all 20 can be found in the document linked below this video. Hypothesis 1. Ancient contact. Most historians and archaeologists have assumed NHI have never visited Earth. That assumption no longer seems valid. Exploring credible evidence for ancient contact, we might now reasonably infer that a long time ago NHI intentionally left future humanity a message. In general terms, that message may have been something like,
"Explore your history, and you will find evidence of non-human intelligences visiting Earth and interacting with humans thousands of years ago."
Ancient contact suggests NHI exist and have visited Earth for thousands of years. Human knowledge of Earth history and prehistory is incomplete. Human knowledge of the history of the solar system is incomplete, and NHI have visited Earth's moon and Mars. Hypothesis 2. Have we got your attention yet? Contact. This hypothesis suggests that some UFO/UAP are appearing specifically to be witnessed. Individual, small group and mass sightings have been well documented over several decades and continue to occur today. According to the NHI Bashar, the following are Interstellar Alliance contact protocols.
First, long-term remote observation of a culture to determine when or if contact would be appropriate. Second, more focused observation and determination of which individuals or segments of that society are more or less open to the concept of contact.
Hypothesis 3. Crop circle contact. This hypothesis posits that some, perhaps as many as 2,000 crop circles, are messages from some NHI. They may be designed to both get our attention and communicate complex messages through symbols across space and time. For example, one possible intentional message transmitted by some NHI through a decoded crop circle is,
"Pay attention to the aging and defective fission reactor across this river. The elements cesium, astatine, polonium, and beryllium can pose serious danger to this area of your planet and to your species for generations."
Hypothesis 5. Close encounters of the fourth kind contact. A close encounter of the fourth kind involves experiences on board a UFO/UAP craft. While on board, experiencers report receiving messages from various non-human beings. The following paraphrased message was reported from some NHI involved in teaching humans to fly NHI craft.
"We are upskilling some people for the time when our craft will be on Earth, helping humanity save the Earth because it's an important part of the universe."
Hypothesis 7. Indigenous Contact. Various Indigenous and First Nations peoples have shared stories and knowledge of contact with NHI beings and craft going back thousands of years and continuing to the present day. These beings are said to have shared knowledge of astronomy, health, ecology, consciousness and more. Here's a message from an NHI responding to questions about Indigenous contact.
"There are locations on your planet where contact with extraterrestrials has been happening for thousands of years. These brief limited interactions mostly happen between certain indigenous cultures on Earth and a few specific groups of extraterrestrials."
Hypothesis 9. Crashed and landed craft contact. Many credible researchers, witnesses and whistleblowers have reported crash and intact NHI craft. These were said to have been retrieved by various authorities. Here's a message from an NHI about landed craft and official secrecy.
Yes, it's true that we have been in contact with your government and heads of power. It is also true that agreements have been made and kept secret from your people.
Hypothesis 10. Remote viewing contact. Remote viewers appear to have communicated with NHI from the present to the distant past. NHI contacted have been in spacecraft, motherships, space stations, military bases, and planets and moons across the solar system. This paraphrased message was received from an NHI on the moon via remote viewing.
125,000 years ago, humans were not as primitive as you now suppose. Vast cities, with advanced technologies, ringed the coasts of the Atlantic Ocean.
Hypothesis 13. Channeled contact. Some channelers claim to be in contact with one or more NHIs. Comparative analysis of different channeled sources reveals a diversity of NHI and NHI civilizations, NHI galactic histories that involve Earth and the solar system, various NHI agenda with respect to Earth and humanity. Here's a paraphrased message from one NHI about another group of NHI.
For thousands of years, the Pleiadians have either stepped in to protect or control humanity. This has been a source of great shame to them. They now realize that humanity must make its own choices.
Hypothesis 17. Formal messages to humanity contact. Some researchers believe different NHIs have sent formal messages or announcements to humanity over many decades. This is a message to humanity from an Arcturian NHI in 2013.
The further you go into your mind, without connection to your heart, the more deeply you enter dangerous territory. I saw this in Atlantis, and I hope you do not repeat that era.
The NHI messages in this video were selected from among 90 messages in the document linked below this video. That linked document contains detailed referencing of sources.